Alright, Shalom, Shalom. This is your brother Issachar coming back at you with another lesson. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the 144,000 who are scattered across the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you. In today's lesson, we're going to go into 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 1 on down. Alright, so this is a good chapter in the book of Esdras that it goes into everything that people are about to go into very soon, because it covers a lot with wars, famine, people rising up against themselves, family members turning on one another. It's going to be a lot out here. It's not just soldiers approaching, and it's a lot. There's a lot that's going to happen. So this is why it's very important for those of you who are learning. You have to be well grounded in this thing. It's kind of like at your job. When you get because every person's job, whether they have their own business or they work at a job wherever, sometimes people get stressed out, and they quit because they can't take it no more, but it's because they don't really know how to handle that situation, So it's just like that, like at your job, the more rooted you're in, the more you learn, the more you can, you're more grounded. So when, stressful days come, because everybody has good days, bad days. So when you have those bad days, you don't just quit, you don't just throw in the towel. See what I'm saying? Because imagine at work when you get stressed out, but at least you can still go grab a coffee. You can still go grab, whatever you want, go get a pizza, watch a movie. You can just leave, But in this time, it's going to be so bad. Imagine, because people are going to see family members being put down in front of them, being tortured, people getting hauled off to concentration camps, people's heads being chopped off by way of guillotine. Imagine. So imagine right now, like when you have a bad day or you're sitting in traffic and people are already getting, like attitude and stuff, So imagine in that time, I got one more example, then I'm going to go into the scriptures. Imagine when people lose their family members or somebody, that person, let's say you lose your mother or your father, someone close to you, or a sister or a brother, or even your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend. If you really care about that person a lot, you're going to be down, you're not going to be the same. All right. So imagine when things are out here and, somebody gets taken away and, you're all down and, down and out. See that? So this is why you have to be fully grounded. See, because in these times that we're into, you have to count that. You have to count the cost. Remember, it's not just everything's gonna be okay. Everyone's gonna be fine. Hey, honey, we got plenty of water. We got plenty of snacks. We got the ammunition. You gotta remember, things are just gonna happen out of nowhere. 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon, Assyria. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. So that's another name for America, okay? Babylon is America, which goes back to Babal, which means confusion. Asia, woe unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Yeah, so Egypt, because Egypt means captivity, bondage. All right, so right here in the land of America, America has all 12 tribes in slavery at the same time. All right, but who controls America? America is a corporation that's ran by the bankers. Okay, starting with the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Oppenheimers on down. Okay, because America is a corporation ran by the elites. Okay, some of you, it's hard for you to take that in. But we're just going to give you the information. What you do with it, it's on you. How you look at us, that's on you too. But our job is to give you the truth. That's it. And if you run with it, cool. But if not, then hey, it's not going to change anything, you know? You got to remember that, because however you take this word, it's not going to change that the Lord's coming, you know? And the Lord's bringing these soldiers to America's soil and, you know, all around the world. Second Esdras, chapter 16, verse 2. And we're going to go all the way down. Gird up yourselves with cloth and sack and hair, and bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction's at hand. And you know what? Right there, that's a good example, because that's a good precept, because I just saw, you know, an Israelite the other day. He was holding his son, I believe, but he was like a little 2-year-old, you know. But right away, I just thought about, you know, like these times that we're approaching. This is why, right here, Ezra said, beware your children, because imagine how hard it's going to be for soldiers to survive. You know, people who are trained for combat, urban warfare. You know, it's hard. You know, I mean, just to be out there. You know, people, you know, going through it. You see, so how much more those of you out there who have to take care of like your children, you know, because imagine it's already hard for people to survive, you know. All right, look at that dude Rambo. Okay, remember that movie Rambo? Remember how intense that dude was? You guys ever seen that movie Rambo? But because he was getting hunted, he was being hunted. Remember? But remember how much stuff he had to do just to survive? All right, now imagine somebody like that being hunted, being chased by Terminators, androids, freaking drones, and not only that, are you running, but you have to carry and take care of your children too. Imagine if you have 2 or 3 children, it's that much harder. Okay, and especially too if you're not like that much in shape, you know. You imagine, so you know those of you that are part of the elect, the angels are going to take care of you. Those of you who are not, just imagine how hard it's going to be for those of you that have children. Because remember that dude Rambo. Remember, I know it's just a movie, but still, I mean, look at, he had a fight to survive, you know. Like, and he was having a hell of a time because he was being hunted down. But even then, you know. So yeah, but now imagine him, and then he had to take care of a child at the same time. So that's why Ezra says, beware your children, because and I thought, and I just kind of, you know, I thought about it because I was like, man, you know, that's gonna be very very hard, you know, because it's gonna be hard for, you know, people who are just by themselves, you know. But so how much more people who, you know, have children, you know, how much more people who have children who have to survive out here? Because can you imagine just running from like a super soldier, you know, somebody who's just, because soldiers are in shape, you know, they run for miles, you know. Soldiers, they run like 15 miles a day easily, you know. So imagine people who can't run that, you know. Your average person out here, like, who, you know, kind of barely, you know, maybe gets in a little workout here and there, you know, their average is probably maybe 3 miles, maybe, you know, maybe 4. Okay, that's like on the average. You know, of course you got people who are more in shape, but that's little. We're talking about, you know, the general population. All right, but if someone's scared, yeah, and running for their life, of course their adrenaline is going to be pumping more. So you might get, what, maybe 5-6 miles, maybe 7, but that's it, you know. So imagine trying to run from like a soldier who's chasing you. That soldier is trained, you know. They train every day. Do you imagine that? And imagine running from someone, and then you got to carry your little children too. That's going to slow you down. So that's what you got to consider, that it's going to get very real out here. Verse 3, a sword. Let's get number 2 Ezra chapter 16 verse 2. Gird up yourselves with cloth and sack and hair, bewail your children, be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. See that? Because those of you, especially those of you who are like mocking the Lord, man, it's very bad. Remember, and Jeremiah and Daniel say that, you know, we're entering the worst time that the earth has ever seen. You know, worst in the flood, worst in Sodom and Gomorrah. And look what happened in those times. It's going to be worse than that. We're entering a very, very bad time. We're talking like very bad time. That's why it's a day of evils. Evils mean bad times. Verse 3, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? Because the Lord is bringing it. Okay, the Lord's bringing these judgments. You know, as you say, you know, doomsday, you know, because it's real. That's very real. Doom means judgment. because the Lord is judging now. It's kind of like, like when you're at work, let's go for the job example again. Let's say you're at work, right? All right, so what happens right there is that let's say, you're not showing up on work on time, and let's say you're not cleaning up your area that right. Your boss is gonna get on you, all right, maybe start, having you do a little bit more grunt work, kind of start making you take out the trash, kind of do things, probably, cut your hours. See that? Because they're it's like a punishment, it's like a judgment, like, hey man, if you don't keep on, if you don't pick it up, your boss is gonna fire you, let you go. So it's pretty much like same deal. All right, it's like the same deal. So same thing with the Lord, because those of you that are not, repenting, just look at what people's bosses can do. They can fire you, let you go, have you stay a week at home without pay. You know what I'm saying? And everyone gets that. Police officers, everyone, when they mess up, they get in trouble. They get suspended. All right, they can't work for a week. Stuff like that. Everything happens. People that work at warehouses, you know how it goes. All right. So imagine the Lord. It's very big, because I'm only saying that because of things that I hear. It's because a lot of people put the Lord in a box. They just act like, oh, like, what does the Lord know? We can do this, we're all right. See, when you have an attitude like that, you're setting yourself up for failure. All right, because those of you that are trying, like, yeah, but at least you're trying, because you believe. Hey, and everyone's going through different tests. Everyone's not going to be on the same level, but that's all right. But as long as you believe and, like, you're sincerely trying, okay, like, yeah, you may be going off here and there, but at least you're trying. At least you're like you're going off, but you're sincerely going off. It's different, because you're like, damn, like, I can't, like Apostle Paul says, like, damn, I can't control, but you're trying. You're like, damn, I want to do it, but I can't. See, at least you're trying. But those who have an attitude like, oh, whatever, what does the Lord know? Stuff like that, that's different, because now you're willingly being ignorant. Now you're tempting the Lord. And that's a very scary place to be. Just look at the earth. Look at how big the ocean is. These top astrologers and scientists, they only discovered, 5% of the ocean? 5%. Imagine what's down there. I mean, look at this planet. Look at the planet Earth, how it is. The Lord just created that. Imagine. The sun, the moon, the stars. And there's way more. And people walk around like, oh yeah, what does the Lord know? You kidding me or what? You're freaking crazy. You're crazy, man. Verse 4, a fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? Yeah, because when the Lord brings it, that's it. That's it. It's kind of like Donald Trump, because when he makes that decision, like, all right, we're going to war or whatever, that's it, because everyone waits like, all right, what are we going to do, Mr. President, So, all right, yeah, you know what, we're going to go to war. And that's what it is. See, same thing with the Lord. The Lord's bringing it. That's it. It is what it is, because he's the big boss, the big boss. Okay, which is he's the Most High. He's above everything. Verse 6: May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it has begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? Yeah, because when someone shoots an arrow, you can't really turn it back. Because once that arrow is shot, that's it. It's going to its mark, Verse 8, the mighty Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, sendeth the plagues. There it is, see? Because the Lord is sending the plagues. Okay, the Lord is shooting these arrows, these spiritual arrows. The Lord's like, all right, because, like when you're not, like this, when you're younger and stuff like that, and you're not listening to your parents, all right, they take away the PlayStation, like, all right, you're not listening, I told you to clean that room, and, you haven't listened and stuff. So what happens, they start, your parents is like, all right, I already told you. So they start taking away like, like like your PlayStation, stuff like that, See, because those are judgments. It's the same thing. Okay, it's same thing like that. Let's see. Second Esdras chapter 16 verse 8. The mighty Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, sendeth the plagues. And who is he that can drive them away? Right. See that? Because you can't go to no lawyer. You can't even go to the U.S. military. You can't go to anybody. CIA, KGB. I mean, nobody. The Dukes of Edom, nobody. Okay, because that's what the Lord's saying. Because once the Lord's on you, you can't. There's no money. You can't. We can tell your mom, your dad. Who are you gonna tell? That's it. The Lord's on you. That's it. Verse 9. A fire go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? See that? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? All right, because when there's big old hurricanes and storms, it's crazy, right? Some people think like, when they're in it, they're like, oh man, they think like it's the end of the world and stuff, because it's crazy. You see trees flying, when you have those big old hurricanes, those winds are like, 100 miles an hour or whatever. It gets crazy out here, You see things flying, all debris and all that, imagine like what tornadoes and all that. But that's just weather. So imagine when the Lord gets here, you see? Verse 11. The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? Right. Because, those of you that are not, getting right with the Lord, you're going to be zapped to powder. You're going to be vaporized. You're going to be eviscerated. Imagine, and, it's, you imagine actually seeing that, right before your eyes, somebody just turned to powder. Can you imagine? You have to really like just, not just hear the words, but you have to really put yourself there and just imagine that, really consider it. Like, man, imagine seeing someone get zapped to powder right before your eyes. Imagine by angelic forces and the Lord himself, Yahushai, imagine. So it's, man, that's why you have to, you got to fear the Lord, but just do the right thing. Remember, you don't got to, have a Mac attack, freak out, and just, you don't got to be over righteous, but, because we're rehearsing the righteous acts, do the best you can. But the thing you got to understand is that you have to, you have to try. You have to give effort, because the Lord knows your attention. So if you're just like faking it, to be, seen from people like, oh, look at me, the Lord knows that you're tempting the Lord. So that's just it's not a wise decision. All right, Second Esdras chapter 16 verse 12. The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof, the sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. Verse 13. For strong is his right hand, that's Yahushai, right hand, that bendeth the bow. See, because Yahushai is bringing it, okay? That's the thing, Yahweh is ordering Yahushai, and Yahushai is the one who's bringing all that, okay? Yahushai was the one who drowned, Pharaoh, all right? He was the one who was with us, all right, in the wilderness. He was actually with us right there, all right? Because imagine how dark it was and stuff, but the Lord was right above us in a spaceship, okay, at Chariot Israel. Yahushua was right there with us the whole time. Yeah, that's our Lord, okay? But yeah, ultimately, it came from Yahweh, and then through his son Yahushua, all right? His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Also, that's talking about the ICBMs. See that? Because those are his missiles. So the Lord's saying his arrows. So just like it tells us in Joel chapter 2. All right, you know what? Let me get it real fast. Let's see here. Where's Joel? Joel. Joel chapter 2. Okay, right here, Joel chapter 2, verse 11. Okay, Joel chapter 2, verse 11. The Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai uttered his voice before his army, which is the missiles. For his camp is very great. For he is strong that executeth his word, because it's his word. This is why, like IUIC, Al-Azhar, General Yohana, the Lord's exposing all of them. Because they're getting this book and they're acting like it's their words. Like, oh yeah, like they're gods, and they didn't go on that cross. And they're doing some blasphemy stuff. We don't have to go into detail, but that's why the Lord's exposing them. Okay, Yahweh Shai is gonna find out all of our enemies. All right, don't worry about it too much. Okay, I mean, I know it may be on your mind, like, hey, but just don't worry about it, because Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and the angels got it covered. Okay, they know who everybody is. All right, it's just like anything. Like, imagine if you had like FBI, CIA on you building a case. You can't hide from them, because like they're on you. Same thing with the angels and the Lord. They're on them. It's beyond your imagination. So the Lord's gonna. Oh, remember like that movie Batman? He goes, hey, bring him into the light. Remember that? So the Lord's gonna bring, all of our enemies to the light. So don't really worry about it too much. The Lord knows who like all these phonies are, these actors. The Lord knows exactly who they are. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide in it? See? Who can abide in it? So let's see here. Let me go back to second Esdras. Exactly. So that right there in Joel chapter 2 verse 11 was another precept that lets us know that those missiles are the Lord's missiles. Let's get that again. Second Esdras chapter 16 verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. See that? Just his arrows. After World War II, just real quick, a quick breakdown, quick example. After World War II, the top German scientists, half of them went to Russia, the other half went to America. All right, and the Germans are the Artemen. Okay, they're a different type of Edomite, but they are Edomites because there are different Edomites. All right, and the Temans, the Germans, they're the smartest out of the self-proclaimed white man, the Edomites. It's just the way the Lord created them. It wasn't even up to them. The Lord created them to be that way. All right, so this is why the Germans, they're the smartest out of the Edomites. It's just the way the Lord created it. All right, because some of you might say, well, why that like that? It's not fair. I don't know. That's just the way the Lord created it. So the Germans are the smartest. They're the Temanites. They're called Teman. All right, so the Lord had the angels, because when you sleep, the angels, work on your mind on what you're gonna do the next day. And a lot of people don't know that, because they think like, oh nah, I do whatever I want. You don't. Okay, the angels control everything. It's beyond your comprehension. So the angels gave those top German scientists the inspiration how to, split the atoms, put sulfur in there, those different elements. You see? All right, this is something that the Lord, he programmed them to do it. So it wasn't just that, okay, the scientists just, just one day just had a thought out of nowhere. No, that that thought came from the angels. All right, it came from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, so Yahweh Bashim Yahushai gave the order to the angels, and the angels put it in their mind, like, all right, it's time, go do that. See, because they're his arrows. Second Esdras chapter 16 verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. That's Yahushai. His arrows, see, because those are his missiles, that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Right. So what arrow do you know can be shot from one end of the earth to the other, from one continent to the other? It's not a typical arrow. It's the ICBMs, supersonic missiles, ballistic missiles. All right. So right there. So right now and it says too that these arrows are sharp and shall not miss. Like imagine like your best snipers from Arabia, Russia, America. You have some top-notch snipers out there, right? All right, and those dudes don't miss. It'd be rare, right? Because you have top snipers like in the SEALs, Navy SEALs, Marines, all that, right? Okay, so look at how accurate they are. When you have top snipers, and these are mortals. Imagine the Lord. So he's very precise, very accurate. He's not gonna miss. So this is what you gotta kind of consider that. All right, and another thing that's happening right now, just a quick update, is that Donald Trump's going at it. America's going at it with Iran. So right now already, America's already moving their big missiles towards Iran. But you can see, because what is these nations? What is their go-to weapon? Okay, nobody's saying okay, well, we're gonna bring out our heavy-duty tanks and no. Okay, what are all these nations they go into? Because if somebody feels threatened, when they're saying let's go to war, what are all these big nations? What is their go-to weapon? The missiles. Everyone's just like, yo, we're gonna press it. Remember Donald Trump said, oh, I'm gonna bomb the shit out of Iran. I don't care. But what? Those missiles. See? All right. Yep. So that just goes to show you that these missiles are the Lord's, because look at what is their go-to weapon. Like at your house, when just an example, when you're there, you have your own house, you have your wife there, your children, you have a plan. Everyone kind of has some type of protection plan at their house. Whether it's a dog, whether let's say you don't have a gun, let's say you have a baseball bat, like, hey, somebody's at the door, or someone's trying to break into our car, trying to break into our house. You have something. Some people have a little Smith & Wesson right there, a shotgun. Oh, I got a baseball bat right here. Something, something. Or if you guys don't like weapons, you probably have like a camera, or you may think what, I'm just gonna call 911, let them handle it. But you have some type of, okay, if something happens, everyone has some type of emergency plan, well, if something happens, I call my cousin, or something, so it's you got to go to weapon, you got to go to all right, if you're a younger child, you're probably, well, I'm gonna call my dad, I'm gonna call my mom, something like that, right? Okay, because that's your go-to weapon. People might be like, oh yeah, I'm going to my rifle all day. People come in here, I got the 12 gauge for their ass, right? Okay, so what are these nations? What is their go-to weapon? Because right now, Iran, America, Russia, they're all, threatening each other, even NATO, okay, North Korea. And what is their go-to weapon? They're not like, oh yeah, they may show their jets here and there, but what is their main thing? What is everybody focused on? Those missiles. All right. So now that it's Iran and America, they already declared war on each other from both sides, and America is already moving. They already said in the the reporters. We've already reported that America has moved their doomsday missiles right there to Iran shores. Real close. But remember, Russia and China got Iran's back. So you see that these nations are, they're not hesitating to bomb the crap out of each other. See that? So This is why we know that we're very close to our Lord's arrival, because look at these nations. They're real close to nuking the crap out of each other, right? It's only a matter of time, because once a couple big missiles go off, that's it, People are gonna be like, oh no, that's it. He started it. Hey, it's it. He started it. Let's go. It's on now, right? Okay, because everyone's just kind of waiting. All these nations they're very tense because they know, that someone's gonna get antsy, someone's gonna press it, and then it's just gonna be, a domino effect from there. It's just gonna be a chain reaction, because America's not just gonna sit and take it. They're like, shit, let's do it. Who's gonna sit there and just let, their motherland, like they say, which is off. It's however, because this place is all about feminism, but no, that's what people say. That's just what these leaders say. If they feel that their motherland is, threatened, they're gonna go to their big missiles, But Iran has a whole underground city full of missiles, and and of course they have it because they're friends with Russia, and how much more do they go up? Because if they're telling the news that they have an underground city full of missiles, what else do they got that they're not telling? Imagine, because you gotta be pretty proud. It's actually stupid, because why would you tell people that you have that, Now you're gonna have people like trying to destroy that, but that's the heathen. That's how proud they are, because they're not wasting no time, because they're not wasting time to flex their muscle, This is why the Lord gave them that technology, because they're about to destroy themselves. They're saying like no video game. If these nations start firing off their nukes, what's going to be left? There's not going to be nothing left, because these nations are about to take each other out right before our eyes. Just you do the math. Imagine everyone just says, all right, let's all fuck it. It's all, excuse my Italian, let's all just press the button. Fuck it. You press it, I press it. What's going to be left? See? I mean, there may be some countries that may, get like the upper hand, but what's going to be left from all these nukes going off? That's it. It's total annihilation. See? So that is a big chess move from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. The Lord's like, here, I'm going to give them these technology, that they're going to think they're so bad, but it's only for their destruction, for them to destroy themselves. Like people say in the world, oh, give somebody long enough rope and they'll hang themselves. It's just like that. The Lord's like, here, I'll give them that long piece of rope, and eventually they're going to hang themselves, And that's what you can see happening right now. 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 14. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Right, because whatever the Lord says, that's it. The angels are going to make sure that it gets done. It's He's the Most High, so whatever the Lord says, it's going to happen. 2nd Esdras chapter 16 verse 15. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? Verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and of great mournings, and the beginning of famine. See, no food, no water. Remember that. It's not just, about surviving and, trying to fight off people. No, you have to, there's going to be no more. All these stores are all going to be ransacked. Everything's going to be shut down. So whatever people have in these stores, like let's say these fast food restaurants, like Taco Bell, Tommy's, McDonald's, once this society's collapse, people are going to go in there, and ransack whatever they got. Even the owners, the managers, they're going to go in there and probably, because once the society's collapse, are you kidding me? If there's employees that work at that restaurant, they're going to be like, oh yeah, we got some food. You don't think they're going to grab that food first and give it to their family? Because when it's time for survival, people are just going to go to what they know. Like, all right, hey, I know there's some food right here, That's what they're going to, because it's going to be no more law, Because in wars, you can't, call the cops, hey, people are robbing it. The police are going to be out here trying to survive, So like people who work at places like that, they're gonna hide they're gonna keep all that food for themselves. You know? Oh, absolutely. You know, let's say yeah, like you got people working like at what is that, Taco Bell and stuff like that. All right, so they're gonna, they're gonna take that food first, especially like a manager, whatever, but there's people who are gonna rob and go in there and take all that food out, whatever they got out. And great death, the beginning of wars. That's what you're seeing right now, wars. Because are things slowing down? I thought Trump said that. Remember, he goes, "Oh, if I go in there, I'll stop World War III in one day." He ain't stopping shit. Just to let you know that this is the Lord's program. He ain't stopping anything. See? Because they can talk. They can be as proud, as puffed up as they want. But remember, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Trump's the savior and all that shit." Now America got more enemies than ever. Every time you turn around, America has another enemy, another war to fight. So those of you that are in the American military, man, you guys have your hands full. Because DJ Trump is just starting it with everybody. I mean, America's strong, but damn, you're just gonna fight everybody at the same time. It's just a lot. There's a lot of wars. So that's the thing. Now America has more enemies than ever. Even now. Not only that, but America is also losing its European allies. They're turning on America. So it's, and that's why people say, "Oh yeah, Trump's the savior." Yeah, right. He's coming to bring fire to this place. And the power shall stand in fear, right? Because the power shall stand in fear. Yeah, because those who are, of like big generals like in the U.S. Army, stuff like that, they know like, yeah, this shit's about to go down. They know that, because those of you who are really taking this serious are like, you see that, yeah, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna end up good. Because war with Russia, Iran, China, it's what's the outcome of that? Like, yeah, America's real strong, but what's the outcome of that? Devastation, annihilation, total destruction. All right, because yeah, remember, some countries might have an upper hand, but it's not going to be that much, because these missiles just do total destruction. So both sides are going to be completely destroyed. So that's why, like, the leaders here, people who have a decent head on their shoulders, when you really sit down and count the cost, they know like, damn, it's not looking good. All right, because people talk crap, all the time, but, real people, like real bosses, real generals and stuff like that, they're like, shit, because, yeah, of course they're brave. Like, damn, we have to fight for our country. But, but in back of their head, they know like, damn, this shit's getting real, because war brings reality. It don't matter how you slice it, nuclear missiles going off in your country ain't nothing pretty at all, you see? So this is why the power shall stand in fear. Yeah, because the leaders, even like top politicians, people who are paying attention, those of you who are really watching, that yeah, this is a real deal. Those of you who are sincere, people who are just messing around, yeah, they don't care. They're just like in La La Land being goofy, so they're just gonna be destroyed. The beginning of evils. Oh yeah, see, there it is. So that's the beginning of that's bad times. Okay, bad times. What shall I do when these evils shall come? See that? So yeah, so this is Esdras. Okay, this is Esdras saying evils. Evils means bad times. Okay, because yeah, bad times. Wars. Wars, famine. Okay, so it's bad times. People being divided against another. Okay, American versus American, families turning on one another. Remember that. That's very heavy, and that's gonna happen. All right. Verse 16. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for verse 20. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of their scourges. Verse 21, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. See, great confusion, because those people who are not really, paying attention, they're going to be like, what's going on? Why is this happening? And that's the majority of people out here. Yeah, you have a good percent that, are prepping, getting themselves ready, getting their families ready, talking about it, but that's not many. That's only a small percent compared to the masses out here. All right. So that's why it says right there, sword, because there's wars coming, civil war. People are going to get thrown in concentration camps. Famine. All right. You're not going to be able to, remember, these cell phones are going to be shut down real soon. The internet. All right. Communication. The only people who will be able to communicate is like top military intelligence and like top militaries. All right. But once these things start happening, everything's going to be shut down. Famine. So famine of the word, you're not going to be able to know like what's going on, and great confusion. Because if you're not paying attention, you're not going to know what's going on. See that? So that's why with the those of the hopeful elect who are paying attention, we may not have much, but we have a steady mind. We're not freaking out because we know what's going to happen step by step, because we're following the Lord. The Lord told, look, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. All right. Same thing like when Yahweh told Moses, go tell Pharaoh, go tell Pharaoh, let my people go. Remember, he says, oh, I'm going to bring the plagues. I'm going to step in now. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Same thing. Instead of the Lord talking to one person, Moses, the Lord talking to all the 144,000. Okay. The prophets telling them, look, go tell these leaders this, that, and the other, this, that, and the third. See that? And now it's happening right before our eyes. See? Because it's coming directly from the Lord. All right? Those are who are the true prophets. Because you got your sellouts and all that stuff, but look at them, we're not even going to talk about it, but there's, you see what they're going through, but it's because they're not the real prophets. So the Lord's going to expose them. You're going to see, like, look at these clowns, But the people that are part of the hopeful elect, they're going to, like Isaiah 33:6. Let me get that real fast. Because it's all about having that steady mind, because knowing is half the battle. Knowing is half the battle, because at least you know. It's like someone who's say someone, let's say somebody was let's say someone was like walking behind you, and was about to rob you. Like, let's say they had like a knife, and you're walking to your car in a parking lot, like after going to an event, whatever. Okay, so right there, you're gonna have let's say if you had nobody warn you, and somebody came, right behind you, and and like stabbed you, was robbed you. That would be it, or if came right behind you and just talked to you in the back of your head, you would get knocked out, right? Okay, but what if you're walking to your car, right, in a parking lot, someone was coming up to you, with a knife, whatever, trying to rob you, and you had somebody say, hey, watch out, there's somebody behind you. You see, you might not overcome that robber or that thief, but at least you're warned. At least you had time to run, grab a weapon for yourself, something, put your hands up, block it, try to take the knife out of that person's hand. At least you're aware, because knowing's half the battle. You may not win. That robber might overcome you still. He may be faster than you, stronger than you, but at least you have a time to prep. At least because knowing is half the battle. See that? Because we know. See, that's the difference. And it's not just because like us, it's because we're listening to the Lord. See that? So that's why we have that comfort. So it doesn't matter what our enemies throw at us, they can't discourage us, because we got it. Because we're literally listening to the Lord. We're not pretending over here. But like these bug outs, like Alazar, General Yohana, you're going to see what the Lord does to them. You guys, the whole world's gonna see what happens to them very soon, very soon, because the Lord's just gonna humiliate them, and then the Lord's just gonna lay them down, you know, because they're playing around with the Lord's word. That's a very serious thing, you know. And then they're not even they're not even remorseful about it, you know, because if it's different, like if someone's sincerely going off, but these dudes are just they don't even care. They don't feel the Lord at all. So it's gonna be very bad for them. We're talking very bad, you know. I don't know. I don't know. We're just watching to see what happens to them, because the Lord is nothing to be played with. All right, just look at the Edomites. Look what's going to happen to them. They're going to go to 1,000-year slavery, and then the Lord's going to exterminate them, all of them. See, So, and that's why we don't care, because when people, these Edomites talk crap and say, "Oh yeah, there is no God," and whatever. That's fine, because we already know. Yeah, you're going to slavery. We don't gotta be like, I mean, if it comes to that, we can just tell them real fast. But if not, we're not even worried about it. They're not even gonna phase us. Why? Because they're going to slavery, and then after 1,000 years, they're gonna be exterminated. So we're not worried about that at all, So we don't gotta be like, oh, like how dare you and all, because we already know. We already know the program. We already know what's going on. See? All right. So this is why it's. Let's get this scripture. Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, is his treasure. Right. Because, it's not just so much like, just be a scaredy cat, No, it's, the fear, because you're choosing rather to follow the Lord. Even if you have to suffer, you become less popular, whatever. Okay? So that's that difference right there. Because you have to have that difference between, all right, am I going to follow the elites and their New World Order, or am I going to follow the Lord? See, because you have to have that fear there. Because what if you're separated from your family? Okay, what if you're took into a concentration camp? What if you get drafted? Are you just going to give up? See, that's why you have to have the fear there. Well, you know what? No matter what happens, if you lose a family member, you have to have that in your mind. Like, you know what? Well, I'm going to follow the Lord no matter what. See, that's why that's that fear there. Because if you get put in dire straits, and a lot of people are in the hour of temptation, you're going to have to make a conscious decision of what you want to do. See. All right, so that's it on today's lesson on the prophecies, and just giving you guys an update of the impending dangers that are coming down the pipe. So with that, on your feet, soldier, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Shalom.